King of Clubs 7-1, Red Rocks 12s, Cataldi 16s, Red Mead 33-1.
Red Mead is just going in. Nearest to us is Celestial Bounty, already in the stalls. This is King of Clubs going in. The white face of Free Guest will be one of the last three to go in. Free Guest, the only filly in the field, winner of her first 4 races last season, beaten only once, and that was in the Champion Stakes when she was a very creditable 5th behind Palace Music. Having the blindfold put on, but she doesn't seem to be at all worried by that. And she's just going to need a little bit of a push. Lester Piggott reassuring her. She's just backing away a little bit. They obviously knew she was going to do this because they put the blindfold on first. The 2 Khaled Abdallah runners, Roussillon and Cataldi, not yet in. The Free Guest is just going to give them a little bit more trouble before she goes in. Roussillon is 11-4 favourite. Celestial Bounty is 3-1. It's 11-2, bar those 2. So Free Guest is in. All credit to the handlers. Here is Cataldi. One of the handlers very quick to get out of range of Cataldi's hind legs. The last one to go in is Roussillon, who's in stall 1, and let's join Peter O'Sullivan.
Thank you, John. Yes, that's it. All 8 installed for the Queen Anne Stakes. And they're running, and Cataldi from stall 4, very fast away and coming over towards the stand side and taking him along from King of Clubs. Just in behind him, then comes Prismatic, and then Roussillon on the stands rail, and then the white-faced of Free Guest showing. But Cataldi is setting a fast pace here from King of Clubs. Then comes Prismatic and Free Guest and Celestial Bounty and Roussillon. And behind him, Red Rocks, but it's Cataldi clear of King of Clubs as they race down now past the 5 furlong pole. Cataldi clear of King of Clubs, Free Guest and Prismatic. Just in behind them come Roussillon, then Celestial Bounty on the far side, Red Rocks, and finally Red Mead, and still Cataldi from King of Clubs, then Prismatic and then Free Guest, then Roussillon making a little ground on the stand side, but towards the right of the picture still, Cataldi from King of Clubs, Prismatic coming there quite strongly, 3 from the right of the picture over on the far left, the white-faced of Free Guest showing right up there prominently as they come down now towards the 2 furlong marker. Cataldi on the inside, Free Guest and Lester Piggott going very smoothly over on the far side. Between horses is King of Clubs, Celestial Bounty is making ground over on the far side. It's King of Clubs, Free Guest, Celestial Bounty on the far side for Allen inside the final furlong, and Roussillon storming through now to come and challenge the leaders and take it up, and it's Roussillon who's taken it up now from King of Clubs as they race into the closing stages. It's Roussillon storming clear to win this in great style. Second was Celestial Bounty, and third King of Clubs, and a photo of a fourth between Free Guest and Cataldi. So Roussillon stages a tremendous comeback on his first appearance of
getting quite old and a tired owner, and for me now every race is a very important one, and unfortunately I'm not able to see every race of every horse in England. In France it's easy for me, and for me any race is very important. Maybe I don't have so many in front of me.
But you haven't been disappointed in any way by the level of success achieved for you by Henry Cecil?
No, Henry for me is the best trainer I've ever had. And I regret not to have horses with him. But he's not training in France. That's all, the only reproach I can make him.
There haven't been any particular disappointments this year with the horses that have encouraged your decision?
None at all. None at all. Really, with second-rate horses, he won more races than was expected.
And the jockeyship of Steve Cawthon, was that satisfactory to you?
It's a marvelous jockey. And I would say that Piggott before was very good. He is not as reliable as Cawthon, but he's a marvelous jockey.
Has there been any aspect of British racing that's been disappointing to you? For instance, have you been content with the hospitality that's been offered to you?
No, not at all. I think the hospitality in England is better than in any part of the world.
Some people were surprised by the timing of your decision on the eve of the Derby. Why did you make the decision now?
Do you think I should have made the decision when Henry Cecil was not successful? I think it's better to say to him that I want to leave when he's successful. It would have been much worse if he was in a bad year.
5-4 against Pebbles, the final show, and Lester Piggott goes straight into the lead on Comanche Run. So it's Comanche Run settling down in the lead from Pebbles on the inside, then comes Costly Lesson, and finally Bob Back. And Lester clearly is setting out to stretch this filly to the limit, to test her stamina to the utmost as he races towards the mile pole in this Prince of Wales Stakes, and passes it, Comanche Run, from Pebbles, Costly Lesson, and Bob Back, and going a good pace. The 1984 St. Ledger winner from the 1984 1,000 Guineas winner, with Costly Lesson quite close in third for Ireland, and Bob Back equally close to Costly Lesson in fourth, and they're racing past the 6 furlong marker. Comanche Run from Pebbles and Costly Lesson and Bob Back, and racing towards the 5 now. Comanche Run from Pebbles, with Costly Lesson going up on the outside of Pebbles. Bob Back, the back marker, and now racing towards the 4 furlong marker in this Prince of Wales Stakes. And it's Comanche Run in the lead from Costly Lesson and Pebbles and Bob Back. Swinging towards the home turn now, Comanche Run, with Costly Lesson second, then Steve Cawthon biding his time on the inside on Pebbles, then comes Bob Back. Racing into the home stretch now, Comanche Run from Costly Lesson and Pebbles. Pebbles going very well in behind Comanche Run and Costly Lesson as they race towards the 2 furlong pole. It's Comanche Run from Costly Lesson and Pebbles. Pebbles coming there strongly now to challenge Comanche Run. Lester Piggott looks over his left shoulder, and Pebbles is coming to challenge Comanche Run now as they race towards the furlong pole. It's Comanche Run from Pebbles, Lester Piggott from Steve Cawthon. Steve Cawthon challenging now, and here comes Bob Back on the stand side. Comanche Run from Pebbles, and Bob's back putting in a tremendous run on the stand side. It's going to be very close, and Bob Back's going to get up and beat the lot. Bob Back has won it from Comanche Run.
Angel Cordiero. Well, Angel, welcome to Ascot. Have you been here at all?
This is my first time in Ascot. I came in about 5 years ago to Sundance Park for one day.
Well, now you've come here to ride a filly called Abarushka in the King's Stand Stakes. It looks as though she's a little bit outclassed. What's brought you here to ride her?
Well, I've been riding for the owner in the United States. I'm the trainer, and they asked me if I wanted to come. And it was too much a busy day for me today in New York. So I decided to come and take a look. They told me this is the best meeting they have here, and I'm glad I came. It's very beautiful.
Well, the weather's usually a little bit better.
Well, I'm used to the bad weather, so it doesn't matter.
But Angel, this filly's going to go and race in California, I understand, shortly. How long does it take for an animal to adjust to racing on dirt rather than grass?
Well, about 2 months, 2 months and a half, close to 3 months. They can go there right away and race on the grass, like, you know, it happened with All Alone and everything. But when they're going to run on the dirt, it takes them about 2 months, 2 months and a half to change the way of training and to get used to the tracks.
And what sort of qualities do you look for a horse to come from Europe to go to America?
Well, for the last 4 years, the horses that going in from here to United States, they have been doing very, very well. They close a lot of ground, and they can go longer than they've been running in here. And right now, we don't have too many good grass horses for the last 3 years. So every horse that comes from Europe, going back to United States, have been doing very well.
Well, your compatriot Steve Cawthon is doing pretty well over here. He's leading Jockey with 70 winners. What sort of season are you having in America?
Well, Cawthon was a hero before he came here. He had a great year, his first year and his second year. He's a beautiful kid. He's very polite, good rider, and everybody likes him. And everybody remember him, and everybody was happy when he won the Derby the other day.
But how many winners have you actually ridden yourself this year?
I have close to 250 this year so far.
It's some sort of total. And the Kentucky Derby, what would you say, there's been a different horse, of course, won all the classics so far, what would you say has been the best three-year-old this year?
Well, as a 2-year-old, Chief Crown was the best one. He was the most consistent of them all. As a 3-year-old, they've been beating each other. Chief Crown came out favored on the 3 classic races, and he was second on 2 of them and third on the other one. I think he's still the best horse. He probably was a little tired horse when he ran in the Belmont the last time. But I think he's the most consistent of them all, and when they go back now to Saratoga in the travel, he got a shot to prove himself.
What would be the best horses, do you think, in this year's Budweiser Million? Because, as you know, 3 or 4 horses usually come from Europe for that race.
Well, probably if they have any horse coming from Europe to United States, probably will be a favor. John Henry have been able to race all year yet. I rode a horse called Sharon Paul, and he went 3 for 3 in United States. It seems like right now he's the best grass horse in United States.
To go back to your beginnings, Angel, you started, of course, in Puerto Rico. How did you actually start your racing career?
Well, my father was a jockey and a trainer, and both of my grandfather was jockeys. So I started just following my father to the stables when I was a kid, and started to like them. And my mother didn't want me to become a jockey, but after I became 18 years old, I decided to leave school and become a jockey, and I've been very fortunate since.
And did you move straight to America?
Yeah, I moved to America in 1965, and that has been my home since then.
And I suppose the best horse you ever rode was Seattle Slew, was it?
Seattle Slew by far.
And he's doing pretty well as a stallion now, isn't he?
Yeah, he have about 4 horses Grade 1 winners on his first year as a stud, and he's probably one of the hottest sires in the United States.
Just remind us of his career. He won just about everything, didn't he?
He won the Triple Crown. He was the only horse undefeated to ever win the Triple Crown. And then he got sick. He was a year without racing. He almost died, and he came back, and he missed the Triple Crown by all the horses just by no Exceller beat him. You probably know Exceller. And he win everything else. He carried a lot of weight, win all the races. He only got beat once as a 4-year-old. And he retired as a stud, and he became a very successful stud, as good as he was as a racehorse.
Well, Angel, it's great to see you here, and I hope you have a really good ride today.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, his only defeat was at the hands of Shadid in the 2,000 guineas. He's the 3rd runner already this afternoon for the trainer-jockey combination of Luca Cumani and Lester Piggott. Their other 2 contenders, Free Guest and Comanche Run, both look to be in with a really good chance of furlong and a half out, but couldn't quite see it home. But Bern is hot favourite to give Leicester his first success at this royal meeting. The St James's Palace Stakes in recent years has always been a marvellous race, and we're promised another one here with Bern, Scottish Reel and Vin de France, to name 3 of them. But plenty of the others with a little bit of a chance too. And as we've seen, a 25 to 1 shot can come up anyway. If it is going to be an outsider, it could be the filly's Isophon. There's Scottish Reel, a much improved horse. He was aimed quite low to start with, winning at Warwick and Ripon, but then won a handicap at York very easily and followed that up with a Group 3 win in the Diamond Stakes at Epsom when beating Cataldi by 12 lengths.
It'd have been a bit flatter in that day, John, if he sort of made a dive for the rails turning into the straight, didn't he? He's 7-2 from 130 at the moment, got the best ground, and he really got home, I thought, before the others could really cope with the ground. Didn't you think, John?
Yes, probably flattered by the winning margin, Jimmy, but I think definitely the best horse on the day nonetheless. I think the last one to go in will be Young Runaway, so let's join Peter O'Sullivan.
Yes, he's the last in. Young Runaway of these 8 runners in the St James's Palace Stakes. 6-4 Bern in their running. And Zézophon, one of the first to show from Comparison. Zézophon and Comparison. And just in behind them, Leading Star. And Scottish Reel. Scottish Reel just going into 3rd now, as it's Zézophon on the inside of Comparison, and now Vin de France going up on the outside of Scottish Reel. Then comes Leading Star and Young Runaway, and the 2 back markers of Bern and Waffy as they pass the 6 furlong pole. Comparison and Zézophon disputing it ahead of Scottish Reel and Vin de France, then Young Runaway and then Leading Star. Then comes Bern and Waffy as the back marker, and they're passing the 5 pole, and as they do so, it's Comparison on the outside of Zézophon, then Scottish Reel. Behind Scottish Reel is Young Runaway, then comes Vin de France, then Bern, then Leading Star in the royal colours, and then Waffy. past the 4 furlong pole, and as they pass it on the inside, Zazophon on the outside, Caparison, then comes Scottish Reel, Young Runaway, behind Young Runaway, Van der France, and then Bern, although with Ready to Do going well at the moment, swinging for home, and it's Zazophon from Caparison, then Scottish Reel, Van der France on the outside, Lester Piggott tracking Van der France now on Bern, Leading Star coming back into the picture, and it's Van der France now who's taking it up marginally from Scottish Reel, then Bern delivering a challenge on the far side of Scottish Reel. They're coming down to the furlong pole now, and it's Scottish Reel and Van der France with Bern challenging over on the far side. Bern takes it up now as they race into the final 150 yards. It's Bern and Lester Piggott striding away now from Scottish Reel and Van der France. Bern is going to win this in tremendous style. Number 1 for Lester Piggott at the meeting, and Bern is the winner. Second is Scottish Reel, and third Van der France, and 4 Young Runaway. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by Leading Star and Zazophon. Behind them came Caparison, and last was Waffy, and so the result of the St James's Palace Stakes, first number 1, Bern, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by Luca Kumani, and ridden by Lester Piggott. Second was number 9, Scottish Reel, owned by Sir Gordon White, trained by Michael Stout and ridden by Walter Swinburne. And third was number 10, Van der France, owned by Mr. Daniel Wildenstein, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Steve Cawthon. Fourth was number 12, Young Runaway. Well, Bern never had it lost. This son of Northern Baby out of Lady Mouse, who cost $510,000 as a yearling. He's really proved himself this afternoon. Here's how he won the St James's Palace Stakes, reviewed by Julian Wilson.
A beautifully ridden race by Leicester. 2 but last in the early stages, but threaded his way through. Up front, the Caparison's coming to the end of his tether, and Zazophon nips through on the rails to take an early lead. Wally Swinburne was always perfectly placed on Scottish Reel and makes his challenge here in third place. Van der France on the outside, the Queen's runner on the wide outside, Leading Star, and Leicester for a moment looking for Rom. He's thought of switching out, but now he sees that there's an opportunity to switch inside and go in between Wally Swinburne and Young Runaway, and there the gap comes, and Leicester goes through it, and Bern quickens very quickly, and the race is over. Bern hits the front, but Scottish Reel battles back and runs on really well. Young Runaway, as expected, on the rails, just gets tired here. Van der France runs on well in third place, but now Leicester asks Bern to quicken, and he goes away and wins like a really high-class horse, paying a terrific tribute to the 2,000 guineas form. Leicester looks round for, I wonder, the how minute time at Royal Ascot, and sees that he's got 2-3 lengths to spare from the runner-up to Scottish Reel. In third place, Van der France, but Leicester cruises home on the Guineas runner-up to give Luca Kumani consolation for not being able to run the horse in the Derby. It'll be interesting to see how difficult it was for Leicester to get this opening. You can see he's going between Greville Starkey and Walter Swinburne, and in fact there's no big problem because there's enough room for 1.5 horses there, and as Leicester just takes that little incline to the right, he quickly straightens his horse out and quickly goes a couple of lengths clear, and so that was race riding at its very best. Eases over towards the rails, but of course he's clear now of Greville Starkey on Young Runaway, and although Walter Swinburne's mount runs on well, this was an impressive win for Bern, winning from Scottish Reel and Van der France.
And Leicester returning on his 111th Royal Ascot winner on this 6-4 favourite Bern, who won by an officially recorded 1.5 lengths, with 1 length separating second and third. Sheikh Mohammed there, just to the right. And amazingly, the Maktoum family, one of his brothers, Sheikh Mohammed's brothers there, had no less than 47 entries on this first day of the Royal Ascot Festival. And this, their first major triumph of the meeting in this prestigious St James's Palace Stakes, which used to be run over a different distance, but it's been run for almost 75 years over a mile, and Lester Piggott no stranger to success in it. First won it back in 1964 on Roan Rocket. Won it in 68 on another famous horse, Patingo. And this afternoon on the 6-4 favourite, but the full starting prices and the results to date as follows.
First, number 1, Dan, 6-4 favourite. Second, number 9, Scottish Reel, 7-2. And third, number 10, Van der France, 13.
Blade, 130 favourite. Mazard, 7-2. Nomination 4-1, 7 bar the 3, and that's it. They're all installed. And running in the Coventry Stakes, Sure Blade fast away right over to the far side, and Mazard on the far side now, and For Dear Life, and also right up with For Dear Life is Native Wizard, and it's For Dear Life on the right of the picture. Native Wizard with the sheepskin noseband, just taking it up now towards the right of the picture from For Dear Life. Then comes Morgan Man, Mazard towards the far side with Sure Blade, then comes Clifton. Native Wizard and For Dear Life now from Morgan Man, Mazard, Clifton and Sure Blade as they race down to the halfway pole, and it's Morgan Man and Native Wizard, these two disputing it ahead of For Dear Life. Then comes Mazard, Clifton running strongly over on the far side. Native Wizard though with the fraction advantage at the moment as they pass the 2 furlong pole from Morgan Man. Mazard still in contention, Clifton still coming there strongly on the far side, and Sure Blade over on the far side too, and it's Sure Blade now has taken a marginal advantage from Clifton. It's Sure Blade over on the far side from Clifton, then comes Mazard, then Morgan Man, and putting in a strong run is Bravo Fox towards the near side, but it's Sure Blade with the advantage from Clifton as they race up towards the line. Sure Blade from Clifton, and as they come to the line, Sure Blade wins it from on the near side. Morgan Man, Clifton third, Sure Blade the winner from Morgan Man and Clifton. They're the 1, 2, 3 I think we'll find. The judge could call on a photo for second, but there's no doubt about the winner. Number 14, Sure Blade. Second, number 10, Morgan Man, and he's called for a photo, in fact, for third place. I think we'll find that Clifton was just about third. But Sure Blade, under Brent Thompson, a clear winner of the Coventry Stakes, as we can review with Julian Wilson.
Yes, a good run race, and the leader at this stage probably Native Wizard with the noseband on this side, but plenty of horses in contention. Mazard in the centre, and Sheikh Mohammed's other runner wearing the second colours, the eventual winner Sure Blade on the wide outside, racing just on the outside of Clifton. Almost 5 in line now. Morgan Man in the yellow colours, Sure Blade on the outside, Clifton, Mazard still there, and Native Wizard just starting to drop away. The one horse who never got into it is Nomination in the green colours in about 6th or 7th position at this point. But this is where Sure Blade asserted his superiority, got a length off Clifton, who's battled on well. Mazard can't find any more. Morgan Man's run on again really well, but the winner's got the race by the scruff of the neck now, unbeaten in 2 races, another successful son of Chris, most impressive on his first win at Newmarket, and perhaps even more impressive today. Clifton once again pays tribute to Guy Harwood's horses who are coming back to form. At the line, a clear success for Sure Blade, Morgan Man second and Clifton third.
So a second Royal winner for Brent Thompson, successful in his first season last year on Committed. And now for Barry Hills on Sheikh Mohammed's Chris Colt, Sure Blade, double for his owner. And officially placed third was number 5, Clifton, and fourth was also Sheikh Mohammed's Mazard. The distance is 1.5 lengths and 3/4 of a length. 22nd winner of the season for Barry Hills, this 22,000 guineas yearling by Chris, out of double lock by Home Guard, and number 17 for Brent Thompson. As Brent drawn on the wide outside, always in the front rank, and ultimately the very clear winner of this Coventry Stakes, which has been won by so many famous horses in the past. He is the 3-1 favourite. Shoreblade, so the second clear favourite to oblige during the afternoon, with the big shock being created by the 33 to 1 chance Bob back in the Prince of Wales Stakes. Only Shoreblade's second public appearance. He was a very smooth winner of a Newmarket maiden last month, when winning by 2.5 lengths over 5 furlongs that was, and clearly very well suited by the extra furlong today. So once again, Sheikh Mohammed in the winner's circle, and how delighted he'll be with this colt, who surely has a bright future. Hasn't got too bad a past after that. So nobody clear yet in the Ritz Club Charity Trophy. The singles scored by Greville Starkey, Bruce Raymond, Lester Pickett, and now Brent Thompson, and the full starting prices as follows.
First number 14, Shoreblade, 3 to 1 favourite. Second number 10, Moorgate Man, 15 to 2, and third number 5, Cliveden, 9 to 1.